Yes, good day, class. I welcome you to Metric Hub, our YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing to you grade 10 life science revision work, revision exercise. This is a full paper. Just please note that it is good to always have good marks by end of the year. This channel, it has got all the info that you actually need. So keep connected by turning on your notification button and keep connected, share and like and just share with friends, family and everyone. So therefore we can all pass without wasting any time. This is a full paper for paper 2 2020 paper. Uh, I'm just going to go through with you everything that is in here. So let's just go to the to instructions. I'm sure that when you are writing any paper, please take note of instructions. You answer all questions in this paper. You write all the answers in your answer book. Start the answer of each question. I'm always bringing to you that this is a very important instruction, this one. Uh, as well as number three, start the answer of each question. After you are done with question one, you start question two on a new page. Number the answers correctly according to the numbering system used in the paper, please, class, according to the numbering system used in the paper. Present your answers according to the instructions of each question. That is very important again when you are going to write your end of year examinations. Each question has got its own instructions, and please note that you follow the instructions that are given per question. Do all drawings in pencil and label them in blue or black ink. This is very important. Again, we don't draw in ink, but we draw in pencil. Then we can label with blue or black ink. Draw diagrams, tables, or flowcharts only when asked to do so. In our syllabus or in our work, we don't mark diagrams that are used to explain answers, but you should use what? You should make sure that you only draw diagrams or tables only if they are asked. The diagrams in the question paper are not necessarily drawn to scale. So that's one other instruction that you just need to take note of. Always read the instruction before answering the questions. Going straight to the question, section A, various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the correct answer and write only the letter A to D next to the question numbers. So you have got to know that you only write the question number, you put the numbering and you put the letters that you are saying are correct to the questions that you are to answer in this question paper. So let's quickly go through these. With number 1.1, for me here, I'm going to be marking the answers only, and at the same time, just I'll mark here and then write it also there for you to make sure that you don't get answers wrong and get all the answers clear and straightforward. Which one of the following blood vessels supply the heart with blood? Question Question 1.1. Which of the following blood vessels supply the heart with blood? A. Aorta. B. Coronary artery. C. Vena cava. D. Pulmonary veins. So I'm saying, for the interest of time, we are just going straight to answer these questions without wasting any time. So the blood vessel that supplies the heart with blood, it is B. It is B, which we are saying it is the coronary artery. And then your answer is what is B in question 1.1. So you just write 1.1 and you write your answer B. That is what the instruction is giving, or it is directing you to say. Question 1.2. Which one of the following statements are correct about the heart? Which of the following statements are correct about the heart? A. The pulmonary circuit pumps blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs. B. The pulmonary circuit pumps blood from the left side of the heart to the lungs. C. The systematic circuit pumps blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs. And then D. The systematic circuit pumps blood from the right side of the heart to the body. So in this case, you need to understand that the correct answer is what is A. The pulmonary circuit pumps blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs. So our answer is what is A in this question, our answer is A. The pulmonary circuit pumps blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs. That is the correct answer, 1.1.2. The typical weather condition that exists in a particular area. What is that? The particular weather conditions that exist in a particular area. What is it called? It is called ecosystem, B, biome, C, environment, D, climate. Climate is the correct answer in question 1.1.3. So our answer is what is D. The typical weather condition that exists in a particular place or in a particular area is called climate. We can as well say that the average weather conditions of a given place at a given time, or actually over a period of time, which is usually a year. So the answer is D. The weather conditions that exist in a particular area is defined as what is climate. The answer is D. And then which of the following groups of plants and animals are found in the fynbos biome? Which of these is of plants and animals are found in the fynbos biome? And then we are saying it is grass, trees, lion, elephant, cheetah, B, yellowwood fence, Kensotarako, bushback, Juko, C, the shrub, the trees, the elephant, the kudu, the velvet monkey, D, the Ericus, Proteus, geometric tortoise, and Sunk, the sugar beet. So the answer is in which of the following, the correct answer in this, it should be, is the correct answer is D, which is letter D in question 4. Question 4, the answer is D. It is the Ericus, the Proteus, the geometric tortoise, and the what? The sugar beet. They are the correct plants and animals that can be found in the fynbos biome. Number 5, Sino wants to give his mom a pot with margaritas for a birthday. He knows that the mangoes need soil with good water, holding capacity, and nutrients. Which of the following should he use to fill his pot with? So in this case, we are saying the condition here is that he knows that the mangoes need a soil with good water holding capacity and nutrients. So which of the following should he use to fill the pot with? So it is A, only small soil particles alone. B, small soil particles with some added humus. C, sand soils with some added humus. D, loam soils with lots of gravel for drainage. So we are saying he needs to give his mom a pot with mangoes for a birthday, and then we are saying the soil, the mangoes need soil with good water holding capacity. So in this regard, our correct answer is what? Is B, which we are saying good water holding capacity and nutrients. So it must be small soil particles with some added humus, which is letter what? Which is letter B. Which is letter B. So that is the correct answer in question number 1.5. Let's go to question 1.6. Melting ice caps and rising sea levels has occurred as a result of humans disrupting the dash cycle. We are saying number 6, melting ice caps, melting ice caps, melting ice caps, melting ice caps and rising sea levels have occurred as a result of human disrupting the dash cycle. Which cycle has been disrupted by people, which have resulted in melting of ice caps and also the rising of the sea level. The sea level rises as a result that the ice is melting and then it is draining into the sea. So what is that? What is the cause of that? Number 6. So it is is it the water cycle disrupting the water cycle? B, nitrogen cycle. C, the oxygen cycle. D, the carbon cycle. I'm sure this you should understand that this is to result, or it is a condition that is enabling the increase in global temperatures. So the answer is what? It is the carbon cycle, which is letter D. Letter D is the correct answer. It is the one that is disrupted by human activities. When people interface with the environment, they interfere or they disrupt the carbon cycle, which would increase or which would lead to excessive carbon gases, which we sometimes define as greenhouse gases, you understand? So this is the carbon cycle that results in uh, melting of sea ice caps, and then the sea levels rises. That is number 6. It is the carbon cycle. And then number 7, Tony, Tony decides to test the effect of salt concentration on the activity of his tropical sea fish. He has 2 tanks. One he fills with normal seawater he collected from the beach. The other tank he fills with 80% seawater and 20% fresh water. Which of the following represent ways that Thorne can ensure the validity of his experiment? So, number 7, which one of these can help to ensure the validity of this experiment? So we are saying one, we are saying use the same species of fish in both tanks. 2, use the same size of tanks. 3, use the same tanks of water in both, use the same type of water in both tanks. 4, put both tanks in the same location at his house. So in order to increase the validity of an investigation, remember when you do any experiment, there must be some set of conditions that would need to be put in place. So therefore, the correctness of the results can be what can be accepted. We can be able to understand to say the results that are collected or that are obtained at the end of the investigation can be correct because of certain conditions that are well contained. So number 7, we are saying it must use the same species of the fish. When you are doing an investigation, you must know that the same species, whether they are dogs, they are flowers, they are whatever they are, as long as they are living organisms, they must be of the same species. And then they also use the same size of tanks. Use the same size of tanks can also be correct. Use the same size of tanks can also be correct. Use the same type of water in both tanks, which cannot be correct in this regard. We cannot say use the same water type because the investigation needs to investigate this and then put both tanks in the same put both tanks in the same location at his house. Then we can as well say that. So our answer can be what can be B. Our answer can be B, which can say that he must use the same species, same size of tanks, and also put both tanks in the same location at his house. So the answer is what? It's B on number 7. The answer is B. When you need to increase the validity of an investigation or to increase the correctness of the results of an investigation, these are some of the parameters that Tony must put in place in order to ensure that the results are correct. And then number 1.2, give the correct, sorry. Oh, wait, it's not, number 8 is there. Number 8, organisms in an ecosystem, that break down the bodies of dead organisms. Organisms in an ecosystem that break down the bodies of dead organisms. So in this case, we are talking about what? About decomposition. Obviously, when something is dead in an ecosystem, it must be decomposed. So what is these organisms in an ecosystem that must break down the bodies of dead organisms? It must be what? It must be decomposers. Number 8. Decomposers are organisms in an ecosystem that must break down the bodies of dead organisms. So number 8, our answer is what? Is D. D should be, is the correct answer in this case. A type of fossil showing the movement, e.g. footprint of animals. What type of fossil is that? That shows movement, e.g. footprints of animals. Number 9, what is it? We are saying true form fossils, not exactly. Molds and impressions, not exactly. The cast, not really. And then obviously our answer is what? We are saying not this one, not that one, not that one. Therefore our answer is what? Our answer number 9 is D. It is D, number 9. Number 9, our answer is D. A type of fossil showing the movements, e.g. footprints of animal, is trace fossils. We are saying they are called trace fossils. Trace fossils is the correct answer, number 9. And then number 10, the supercontinent made up of all the continents joined together is called dash. Number 10, what is that supercontinent made up of all the continents joined together? It is called what? It is called A, the Laurasia, not correct. It is the Gondwana land, not really. It is called the Pangaea. Pangaea is the supercontinent that is made up of all continents joined together. So therefore, our answer is what? Our answer is C. Number 10, our answer is C. You can see that the supercontinent is made up of all of the continents joined together is called the Pangaea. It is the Pangaea, which is the correct answer there. But however, we can talk about saying after the Pangaea drifted or was divided, it forms now the Gondwana and the Laurasia and so forth. So we are saying the correct answer number 10 is what is C. Are we together there? So please make sure that you get all these marks correct. Let's quickly go to the biological terms. The type of muscle that the heart consists, the type of muscle that the heart consists of, it is the cardiac muscle. I'm sure that when we talk about the heart, we talk about the cardiac muscle. It is the cardiac muscle. The pigment found in red blood cells. This is called hemoglobin. The hemoglobin is the red coloration, the red pigmentation that is found on what? That is found on red blood cells. It's called the hemoglobin. It's called the hemoglobin class. It is called hemoglobin. Number 3, lymph fluid when it leaves the blood when it leaves the blood vessels and bathes the cells. What is it called? It is called what? Tissue fluid. This is called what? Tissue fluid. It is called tissue. It is called tissue fluid. Number 3. Slowing down of both processes when temperature drops. The slowing down of both processes when temperature drops. It is called what? Hibernation. Process is called hibernation. The slowing down of both processes when temperature drops is called what? It's called hibernation. Number 5, height above sea level. We call that altitude. I'm sure that we are quite used to this one. Altitude is the height above sea level. The height above sea level is called what? It's called altitude. We are talking about the altitude when we talk about height above sea level. A rise in the average temperatures of the earth. It is called what? Number 6. This is called what? Global warming. Global warming is a rise in the average temperatures of the earth, a continuous rise in average earth temperature. We call that global warming. Like I said, it is caused as a result of what? Accumulation of greenhouse gases that we have talked about there. So the effect of global warming are quite a lot. We'll talk about that when we go into the next areas. But for now, let's just talk about this. It is just the general increase or rise in average earth temperatures or global temperatures is called what? Is called global warming. Removal of trees from a particular area. Number 7, the removal of trees from a particular area. It is called what? The cutting down of trees from a particular area. We call that deforestation. It is called deforestation. Cutting down of trees in a particular area. It is called what? It is called deforestation. Massive sections of the Earth's crust that move as a single piece. It is called tectonic plates. The massive sections of the Earth's crust that moves Number 8, we are saying that earth crust that moves as a single piece, we call that what? Tectonic plates. Tectonic plate. That's the correct answer. Number 9, uh, fossil plants thought to be responsible for coal deposits. Fossil plants, fossil plants thought to be, we are saying fossil plants are thought to be responsible for the coal deposits in southern Africa. What are they called? The fossil plants that are thought to be responsible for the coal deposits in southern Africa. It's called what? These are called the what? Uh, they are called the Glassopataris. Number 9, I'm saying these are the fossil plants that thought to be responsible for coal deposits in southern Africa. I'm saying they are called the Glassopataris. These are the fossil plants that are thought to be the coal deposits in southern Africa, the Glassopataris. That's the correct answer there. So you can be able, this is possible to get all those answers correct, as you can see there. Let's quickly go to the next section. 1.3. You indicate each of the statements in column A applies to A, only B, only both A and B, or none. So therefore, write only the answers next to the question numbers. For example, at this question 1.1.3, we are saying blood vessel with walls, blood vessel with walls only one cell layer thick. What are they? We are saying blood vessels with walls only, blood vessels with walls only one layer thick. Is it the vein? Is it the artery? It is actually what? In this case, we can just say this answer, it is none of the above. So it is none in this case. Abiotic factors. Abiotic factors. We are saying, what is it? Abiotic factors. One, we are saying we are looking in an ecosystem. Which one is it? Abiotic factors in this case. Predation, it is biotic, it is living. So abiotic obviously should be what? Should be B only. So abiotic, we are talking about non-living factors that might be found influencing an environment or an ecosystem. So it is B only. And then ethical ecotourism, ethical ecotourism, number 1.1.3, ethical ecotourism, buy illegal wildlife products. When we say it should be ethical, ethical should be something that is acceptable. That is also, we are saying ecotourism. So what we are saying is that buying illegal wildlife products, obviously it's not ethical. Hence, we are saying pick up litter. It is cleaning ecotourism, which is going to be B only. Also on 1.1.3, we are saying something that is ethical, and then we are talking about our ecotourism, as to say our natural environment. Pick up litter, it is quite ethical. It is quite important because the more danger or the more waste accumulates in our environment, the more they pose dangerous or problems also to our what, to our ecosystems. Number 1.1.1.3.4, evidence for continental drift, transition, fossils, biogeography. What is the evidence of what? Of continental drift? Continental drift is to say the movement of continents, which we are talking about, to say the division, to say the Earth was once a supercontinent, to say it was once a supercontinent, that we talk about the Pangaea there. So evidence of that is defined by what? By biogeography, which is what? Which is B only. Biogeography, we are talking about the distribution of organisms in different places. We have, this is explained by various examples. If, for example, the finches beds that we can talk about, which are found in different islands, and then these finches beds They've got different beaks and so forth. We can talk about the baobab trees that are found in different continents, like to say the baobab tree in Africa and versus those ones which are found in Asia. These are types of the evidences of continental drift that we can say that it is biogeography that is explaining these, finding similar objects or similar organisms in different continents or in different places. This is explained by what? By continental drift theory. So it is B only, which is number 4. So as you can see, you can as well be able to get all the marks correct there. 1.4.1, this is the diagram that shows the internal structure of a human heart, the structure of the human heart. Identify parts 1, 4, and 6. Identify parts 1, 4, and 6. What is 1? Identify parts 1, 4, and 6. 1, it is what? 1, it is the aorta. Sorry, 1, it is the aorta. One is aorta, 1, 4, and 6. 4, our 4 here, it is the septum that is dividing the heart into 2. We are saying it is what? It is the septum, number 4. And then 6, what is 6? Our 6 is what? It is the tricuspid valve. So that is the answer. Those are the answers for the questions. Identify parts 1, 4, and 6. I'm giving them straight on the diagram there. So therefore, I'm just quickly answering them. So then we won't waste time. 1, 4, and 6. 1 is aorta. 4 is the septum. Then 6 is the tricuspid valve. And then where is the blood? Where is the blood at 2 coming from? The blood at 2. Where is it coming from? Blood at 2. Blood at 2 is coming from where? It is coming from the lungs. I'm sure, remember that if you can go and look on the structure of the heart, you can understand and see that the blood that is in number that is found at 2, it is coming from what? From the lungs. That is very correct. And then name the process that occurs when structures 3 contracts together. When structures 3 contracts together, name the process that occurs. Number 1.4.3. What is that? That takes we are saying this is called what? This is called when these structures contract together. What is it that takes place there? The process. It is called what? The ventricular stereo. Is called the ventricular. These are the processes that is the process that occurs when these when structures 3 contracts together there. And then describe the oxygen content of the blood in structure 5. The oxygen content, describe the oxygen content of the blood in structure 5. This blood, it is low in oxygen. I'm sure that we know that this blood is low in what? In oxygen. That is the description. Describe the oxygen content in what? In the blood, oxygen content of the blood in structures. This one, it is low in oxygen. It is low in oxygen, number 1.4.4. That is the correct answer. And then, next question, 1.5. It's a table that shows time scales of a part of the Earth's history. It is a table that shows structures which shows the time scales of a part of the Earth's history. So this is, I'm sure that you know, it's million years ago. It's million years ago. It is an era as a period. We are saying the different eras we have got the Paleozoic, we have given the Paleozoic era only in this case, and then we are given the Permian, and then the Mississippian, the Devonian, the Ordovician, and also the Caribbean. We are given also the fossils that are also found there in these different periods, as in the various years that they've existed there. So question first is saying, question 1.5.1, which period saw the arrival of the first land plants? Which period saw the arrival of the first land plants? What is the period that we see the arrival of the first land plants? The first land plants, where were these? Which period was it? If you look in this, we are saying we need to look into this is the period here, and then we look into the various fossils that are there. So from these fossils, where do we find that? We can also find that these are also indicating what? They are indicating also the first land plants. You can see it is written first land plants were found in the what? In the Ordovician. The Ordovician period is the period which is when these were found, the first land plants. These are the first land plants that are actually indicated on in our question there. First land plants. So we are saying it is what? It is the Ordovician is the period when the first land plants were discovered or were found. And then question B, which group of animals survived the longest in this era? Which group of animals survived the longest in this era? Which group of, we are saying our Paleozoic era, which group of animals survived the longest? We can see, according to the period that we are given there, to say which group of animals survived, which group of animals survived the longest in this era, which is, we are going to look on that. We can check on our what on our in our what you call on our table here. You can see that we have got the trilobites. We have got the trilobites. They are anomites, the ammoids. Let me see the ammoids. We have got the fish. We have got the animals with the shells, sponge, and what. So we are saying which group of animals survived the longest in this era. We can find out that we have got the what? We have got the trilobites, which is existing. We have got the trilobites, which is existing throughout. So it is the what? Number B, it is the trilobites. Uh, it is the trilobites that survived the longest in this era. And then what do we call a time scale like the one above? What do we call the time scale of the one above? This time scale, that is given here, we are saying we are having millions of years ago, which we are seeing these various organisms existing. So what do we call this time scale as the one that is shown above here? This is called a what? This is called a geological time scale. Geological time scale is the one, this one is called a geological time scale. This is called a geological time scale. Number 1.5.3, 1.5, in which period above did an explosion, a large increase in the number and diversity of fossils in the fossil record occur? In which period above did an explosion or a large increase in the number and diversity of fossils in the fossil record occurred? So which period do we have that? Which we have got, we are saying which period we have got a large increase in the number and diversity of fossils in the fossil record occurring. So as you can see here, we are saying which period was that? Let's just check here. the period and the fossils, which one was it? Which is also it is actually, if you can check here, it is the what? It is the Caribbean, it is the Caribbean period. Number 1.5.3, it is the what? It is the Caribbean, I mean, the Caribbean, the Caribbean period is when we have an increase in the number and diversity of fossils in the fossil record that you can see. We see that we are having we see that we have got an increase. We are saying it is the period where we had a large increase in the what? In the number and diversity of fossils in the fossil record. As you can see there, I'm saying these are quite we are saying we have got the first fish, the first animals with shells, sponge, and the jellyfish. So we are saying that is the period where we have got an increase in the what? In that period. Number 1.5.4, scientists may use different layers of rocks to work out if a new fossil was formed before or after a particular geological event. That is very correct. What do we call this method of dating fossils? We are saying scientists use different layers of rocks to work out if a new fossil was formed before or after a particular geological event. So we call that what? This is called relative dating. Relative dating is what we call this method of dating, relative dating. Relative dating is what it is called, relative dating. And then number 5, scientists may use fossils like ammonites to help them date other fossils found in the same layer. What we call fossils like what we call fossils like the ammonites and others that help scientists to do this. We call that what? The index, what is called the index fossils. I'm sure that we can understand that when we use fossils like the ammonites to help to date other fossils found in the same layer, we call that index fossils. It's called for index what? It's called index fossils. Index fossils. And then what we call a scientist who studied fossils. I'm sure that we know that it's called a paleontologist. Number 6, it's called a what? This is called a paleontologist. These are scientists who study fossils. The study of fossils is called paleontology. But then we are saying the scientist who studies that, is called paleontologist. Paleontology is the study of fossils. And then those people who specializes into that, we call them that they are called paleontologists. So that is very correct. Paleontologists are scientists who studies fossils. That's very correct. And then our next question, 2. What? 2.1.1. It's a diagram that shows brain in the heart. It is a diagram that shows the brain in the heart as shown there. So we can see that the brain and the heart are connected. And then first question is saying, name the 2 patches of tissues, 2 and 3, that help control the heart rate. The 2 patches of tissues, 2 and 3, that helped control the heart rate. These are called what? These are called sinoatrial nodes. 2 and 3. I'm saying these are called what? They are called what? We call them the sinoatrial nodes. Sinoatrial not nodes. They are called sinoatrial nodes or sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial what? Node. And then that's what we call 2 and 3 that help control the heart rate is called let me just write it here for everyone not to get lost. Sino Sinoatria or not. These are the two patches of tissues that help control the heart rate. And then where in the heart is part 3 located? Where in the heart is it called is it I'm saying sorry, wait here. Check this question. It's saying name the two pages. Okay, so we are saying name the two pages. Actually, there's no artery or not. It's the no artery or not. It is what it is two. Let me just kindly just properly correct this one. I'm just moving too fast here. Sorry for the speed. I'm saying the question is saying the two pages here. So we are saying the 2 and 3. So the sinoatry or not is actually we are saying this one is actually called the sinoatry or not. This it is called the sinoatry or not. This is called the sinoatry or not. And then obviously 3 it is called the what? The atria of the ventricular node. It is called the atrial, the atrioventricular, the atrioventricular node. So sinoatrial node is what is 2, and then 3 is what is the atrial ventricular, the atrial ventricular node. So please just take note of that to say these are the two patches. 3 is what is the sinoatrial, I mean, is the atrial ventricular node, and A is the sinoatrial node. That is what is the question is. That is what the question wants us to answer, or that is what we need to do to identify 2 and 3, and then number 2.1.2, where in the heart is part 3 located? Part 3, number 2.1, we are saying 2.1.2, where in the heart is it located? It is located in the what? In the septum. It is the septum. That is where 3 is located in the what? In the septum. It is located in the septum. I'm sure if we can refer to our notes, if you can refer to our previous work, you would see that the septum, it is where 3 is located. And then that is what that is question 2.1.3. And then 2.1.3, explain how part 1, 2 and 3 function together to increase the heart rate. Explain how these function together to increase the heart rate. I'm gonna just quickly write them also here. How do they work together to increase the heart rate? If the medulla oblongata, this happens as to say 1 on this one. If the medulla oblongata, if medulla oblongata, if the medulla oblongata actually detects too much carbon dioxide, detects too much, they detect too much carbon dioxide. I'm just going to write in short for the interest of time and also space. If they detect too much carbon dioxide or a drop in blood pressure, it can be too much carbon dioxide or a drop in what? Or a drop in what? In blood pressure, or a drop in blood pressure. It sends the impulses to the what? The new artery or not? It sends the impulses to sinoatrial node, which is what? Which is 2. Sinoatrial, it sends this, the impulse to sinoatrial node, which we are saying it is what? It is 2. It sends the what? The impulses to the to sinoatrial node. And then we are saying if the medulla oblongata, or we are saying if the brain detects too much carbon dioxide, the medulla oblongata or the brain detects too much carbon dioxide or a drop in in blood pressure, it sends the impulses to the sinoatrial node, which we say that it is what? That is the same as to say 2, which causes which will cause, or which causes the atria to contract, which uh which causes the atria to contract, which causes the atria to contract. So therefore we are saying then the atrial ventricular node causes the ventriculars to what? To contract fast, to contract. uh then the atrial ventricular, I'm sure you still remember we said the atrial ventricular, the atrial ventricular node, which is also 3, the atrial ventricular node, which is 3 also, then it causes the ventricles to contract fast, causes the ventricles to what? To contract fast, to contract faster. So this is the question. That is what you need to understand to say that how part 1, 2, and 3 function together to increase the heart rate. So it is through what we are saying. First part of this question, you should see here. Check properly, please. Understand this. If the medulla oblongata or the brain takes too much carbon dioxide or a drop in blood pressure, it sends the impulses. It sends the impulses to the what? The sinoatrial node, that is 2, which will cause the atria to contract. Then the atrial ventricular node, which is 3, causes the ventricles to what? To contract faster. That is how they increase the what? The heart rate. That is how they increase the heart rate. So you can see that that is what happens there in this respect. And then the next question is saying the diagram below shows 4 steps of an operation to insert a wire cage into a blocked artery. It shows 4 steps operation of an operation to insert a wire cage into a blocked artery. That's what is shown there. So we are saying that is what is being shown here. So what causes arteries to block? What can cause arteries to block? The arteries can be blocked by what? Arteries can be blocked as a result of what? It can be as a result of cholesterol. Cholesterol can cause uh, cholesterol can cause arteries to block, or it can also be because of what? The plaque built up. Can also cause what? It can cause arteries to block. So it can, I'm sure that we have seen, or we have quite a lot of times heard when we talk about the effects of cholesterol in types of, or in the foodstuffs that people are consuming. So cholesterol, one effect that it has is that it can cause arteries to block, which is one other condition that is also not good to say, causing or causes, blockages of arteries can also affect the blood circulation, or it can also be plaque built up, which can also cause the arteries to block. What is the wire cage code? Number 2.1.5. What is the wire cage code? The wire cage that is then used to put there. What is it called? This wire cage, it is called what? It's called a stent. It is called a stent. What is the wire cage called? It's called a what? It's called a stent. That wire cage that is used, if you can check here, we are saying it is an operation to insert a wire cage into a blocked what? Into a blocked artery. So what type of wire do we call that? That wire cage is called what? It is called a stent. Please, I'm sure that you can remember and refer back to your notes and also from the lecture's notes. Explain how the wire cage helps a person with a blocked artery. How the wire cage helps with a person with a blocked artery. Question 2.1.6. How does that help with a person with a blocked artery? What happens is that the stent holds the blocked arteries open so that the blood can flow through. The stent, which we are saying that wire cage, the stent, the stent, the stent actually holds the blocked arteries open. It holds the blocked arteries open. It holds the blocked arteries open so that blood can flow through. Open so that blood can flow through. Can flow through. The stent holds the blocked arteries open so that blood can flow through. That is how this can help. That is how the wire cage can help a person with a blocked artery. That's how it can hold a person with a blocked artery there. And then question, name 3 things people can do to help prevent blocked arteries in their blood vessels. What are the 3 things that they can do? 3 things that people can do. Name 3 things. Name 3 things. 3 things that people can do to help prevent blocked arteries in their blood vessels. So what are the 3 things that they can do? We can talk about 1, improved diet. They can have to depend on improved diet. 1, we are saying having a good or improved diet. Improved diet is very important. Number 2, what else can we say? What else can they do? Regular exercising. I'm sure that you have seen that when we talk about when we are exercising, it is quite good in terms of always improving the people's health. So if people have got problems or health problems, we have got to talk about what we have to talk about what is it? Exercising. Number 2, that is we can talk about what regular or more exercising. Regular or more exercises. People can have to do more exercises or regular exercises. Number 3, what else can we say? These people can do also. There is always also the scientific method, which is what the medication. You have getting treatment, which is medication. Medication can help in terms of that. Improve the diet, or we can talk about regular or more exercises, or also medication. These can help to improve. They can help to prevent blockages of blood vessels. Improved diet, which we are saying foodstuffs which have got less cholesterol, and also exercising, and also the use of medication can also help in that regard. That is 2.1.7. Next question. Study the list of organisms below which may be found in a thicket biome. it's a term, I mean, organisms that can be found in a what? Which can be found in a thicket biome. 2.2.1. First question is saying, what is a biome? I'm sure that we have seen this quite a lot from the start. What is a biome? We are saying it's an area with a distinct climate together with the plant and animals that live there. A biome, we are saying it's an area, it is actually an area with a distinct climate, an area with a distinct climate, an area with distinct climate. We are saying it must be with distinct climate together with the plant and animals that live there. Together with the plants and animals. Plants and animals that live in that place. Plants and animals that live there. So that is a what? That is a biome. It's a specific area or a particular area with its distinct climate, with its plants and animals that live there. So we call that what? We call that a what? A biome. We call that a biome. We call that a biome. And then the next question is saying, identify two producers from the list above. Producers, when we are saying producers, identify two producers from the list above there. What are these two producers there? Producers we are talking about, obviously they should be what? They should be what? They should be plants. So which are those which are forming plants there? Question there, we are saying which are those ones which are forming plants there? So we have got one, in this we have got grassy. Obviously grass is a producer there. We can say grassy. Two, Chris saying identify two producers there. We can say the grassy. What else can be is that can that be a vegetation there or can be a producer? We are saying grassy. We can also have the aloe. Aloe is also a plant. We can say aloe is also a producer there. We can as well say that which one again can be a vegetation in this case. I don't know to say. Can we also talk about the spec boom? Also, now is number three. As to say the spec boom. So we are saying these are the different producers that are in our case of the question here. The grassy, the aloe, and also the spectrum. They can be different. They can be different producers that we can find from the list that we are having in this case. They can be the different producers that can be found from what? From the list that we are given there. And then the next question is saying identify, is saying also identify one primary consumer from the list. Identify one primary consumer from the list, which is question 2.1.3. What is the primary consumer? Something that feed on what? On vegetation. What is it that can feed on this vegetation there? What is it that can feed on this vegetation? So what is that one which we can find there? We can talk about the locust. It can be a primary consumer. You can talk about a locust. Number one primary consumer. We can talk about one. We can say a locust, or we can also have even the could can also be there. We can also talk about a could, or we can also talk about what is this? We can also even talk about the sunbird. it can also eat what? It can also eat vegetation or grass. It can also be a sunbird. It can also be even a lizard. They also eat. They can also eat these. They can also eat. Uh, they eat what? They eat grass. Locust, coot, or sunbird. Question 2.1, 2.2.4. Identify one tertiary consumer from the list. The tertiary consumer, the one that is, we are saying the one that is feeding on the what? We are saying it feeds on the highest other animal that is feeding on meat. So what can that be? We are saying number 2.2.4. We can have a hawk. A hawk can be a tertiary consumer. We can have a hook. We can have also be that is gonna be also be an adder, can also be a tertiary consumer. They can also be tertiary consumers there. Number 2.2.4, it can be a hawk, it can be an adder, which we are saying that they can be what? They can be tertiary consumers in that case. And then the next question is saying 2.2.5. 2.2.5, draw a feasible food web using all the organisms in the list above. So we need to draw a food web based on the organisms that are shown on this one. A food web using all the organisms that are shown on this case. So we can say thicket biome food web as to say our heading. We can say thicket. We can say thicket biome food web, as to say that is what, that is our title, thicket biome food web. And then using all those we need to draw. I can put either to say, let me just say, we have got an adder, we have got a coot, we have got a spectrum, it's called a spec boom. We have got grassy. Let me just adjust the space also. We have got the grassy. We can put our grass there. And then we can have our locust. We can have our locust. We have got the, we can have the lizard there. We have the lizard. And then we have got the what? We have got the hook. We have the hook. I can have also maybe the sunbed. And then we can have the alu somewhere there. So the food web now that we must draw is to show that the connection or the interdependence of these organisms in their ecosystem. We can start, let me just have there to say, we have got the alu here, is the alu there, which is eaten by the sunbed. The sunbed is taken by the hook, is taken by the hook there. And then I can also come to the grassy. The grass is eaten by the cood. The grass is eaten by the cood here. The cood is the grassy. The grass is eaten by the locust. The grass is eaten by the locust there. I can as well say again that from the grass there, the grass is eaten by the locust is eaten by the lizard. Also, I'm sure that we know that the locust is eaten by a what? By a lizard, and then the lizard can also be taken by a hook. That can be correct again to say the locust can be taken by the hook, and then the lizard, sorry, the lizard can be taken by the hook, and then we can have the lizard can also be eaten by the adder, and then the adder can also be taken by the what? The adder can also be taken by the hook there, and then we have got uh this one, the spexdom. The spexdom can also be taken by what? By the by the kudu. This one can also be eaten by the kudu. That is very correct. And then the kudu can also the spexdom, the specboom can also be eaten by the locust, can also be eaten by the locust there. And then what else is left? What else is left? Uh, the relationships that can happen there. The sunbed. What else can be left? What else can be left there? So we are saying this is just an interrelationship that that you must show that you understand the relationship that takes place or that happens in a food chain. To say in animals in their ecosystem, there is an interdependence that takes place there that you must understand to say this happens with that and that and that. So as you can see, we can also just have it like that. Even the hook can also, the locust can also be eaten by the hook straight also like that. Again, we can have the locust being eaten by the hook straight. And then what else can we give there? These are the different relationships that we can talk about to say that they are kind of different relationships or the different interactions that are shown in a food in a what these are a thicket biome food web, a thicket biome food web. So I've given the title that this is a thicket biome food web, and I've drawn what the food web as you can see in there. So what is expected of you is to understand that there is always an interrelation or the interdependentness of organisms in their ecosystem, as I've shown in this respect. So I'm sure that we can be able to relate, and this is what is expected of you. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. Question 2 point, question 2.3. Question 2.3. Next question 2.3 is the diagram below shows part of the nitrogen cycle and the water cycle. Part of the nitrogen cycle and the water cycle that is shown in this diagram here. So as you can see, we are saying 2.31. This is part of the nitrogen cycle and also the water cycle that is shown in this diagram. Nitrogen cycle and also the water what? And also the water cycle that are shown on this diagram. So let's quickly answer the questions that are there. Name the process of removing nitrogen from the atmosphere at A. The process of removing nitrogen from removing nitrogen from the atmosphere at A here. What is that called? We call that what? Nitrogen fixation. This is called nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen is called nitrogen fixation, which is this. This is called nitrogen fixation class. Nitrogen fixation at A. As the lightning is taking place there, it is actually fixing the nitrogen in the atmosphere into the soil. And then the next question is saying in which form is nitrogen absorbed by plants out of the ground at B? When nitrogen is absorbed by plants, it is absorbed in which form? It is, I'm sure that you know that as you can refer this, we talk about the nitrates. We talk about the nitrates. It is in the form of what? As nitrates. It is absorbed as nitrates, which can also be given as what? As a formula, or as a, we can give that also as a what? It can be given as NO3. I mean, NO3, yes. Nitrates, it is in the form of nitrates, which is very correct. And then which part of water cycle is represented by C? Which part of water cycle is represented by C? C is actually showing that it is the clouds, and then we are seeing the water that is falling there. So C is representing what? It is precipitation. This is precipitation that is shown here. It is precipitation. We can agree together that it's precipitation. This is precipitation. C is precipitation. That is very correct. And then runoff water from the farm, runoff water from the farm into the river at D can cause excess nutrients to flow into the water. What is this called? This is called nutrification, the washing away of soil nutrients from arable lands into water or into water resources is called what? Nutrification. It's called nutrification D class. We are saying run off water from the farm into the into river D, which is where nutrients are washed into the water sources. It's called nutrification. It is the same thing that we refer to, that it causes what? It causes algae to grow, which has got also an effect in terms of our aquatic lives, which has got an effect also in terms of the sunlight and many other factors that would cause problems with regard to what? To lives or organisms that live in water. And then explain how process mentioned in above might cause organisms to die. Okay, it's already asked there. How does it cause organisms to die? So we are saying nutrification causes algae to grow rapidly. It causes, it actually causes algae to grow rapidly or very fast, which actually we are saying it causes it actually we are saying it causes algae to grow to grow rapidly. And then as out I mean this algae, what does it do? The algae, it actually blocks sunlight, like I already mentioned. It blocks sunlight into the water resource, into the water reservoir that we are talking about. There is no sunlight that enters there. It blocks sunlight. And then we can also have, when sunlight is not there, the plants and organisms that love sunlight living in the river will die. Living in the river, they will die. They will die. The plants and animals that require or that need sunlight, they will die. So That is a problem that is there, which also happens there. And then you know as well that as these they die also, we can have decomposing bacteria remove the oxygen also from what? From the water, and then causing other organisms to die also too. Decomposing, decomposing organisms, the decomposing organisms, we can say bacteria, the decomposing bacteria also, which we are saying the decomposing bacteria removes the oxygen, will remove oxygen, it will remove oxygen, it will remove oxygen, which we are saying, which will also cause other organisms to die, will remove oxygen from the river system, which will, which will cause many other organisms to die. That we are saying that's how it can actually affect this process. The nutrification process, it causes algae to grow rapidly and then it blocks sunlight into the water resources. Plants and animals that love sunlight living in the river system, they die. Also, we see that there is going to be decomposing bacteria that will further remove the oxygen from the river system, which will cause many other organisms to die in that respect as well. So that is how the problem of nutrification affect in this respect. That's how the nutrification, how that is how that will affect. And then our next question, the diagram below sun's rays hitting the earth, the sun's rays that are hitting the earth, and then which abiotic factor is represented by A in the diagram above? Which abiotic factor is representing? We are saying the sun hitting the earth. So what is A representing? It is representing what? It is representing sunlight. It is light that is represented by A. It is light. Light is represented by A. Explain how the tilt of the Earth's axis causes seasons. Explain how the tilting of the Earth causes seasons. What happens there? The tilt of the Earth axis causes it causes one side of the planet to face towards the sun. It causes one side it actually causes one side of the planet, to face towards the sun, one side of the planet to face towards the sun. It will tilt, and then the tilting the earth, it actually faces one side of the planet to face towards the sun, while the other side away from the sun. While the other side is away from the sun. While the other side is away from the sun. While the other side is away from the sun. So what we are saying is that the side that faces the sun, the side that faces the sun, that faces the sun, the side that faces the sun, actually what happens with the sun, the side that faces the sun receives more light and experiences summer. The side that faces the sun receives more light and experiences summer season. It When it experiences more light, therefore it experiences what? It experiences summer. Well, the side that is away from that, well, the side Well, that side that faces away from that faces away receives this light and experiences winter. Well, the other side, well, this the other side with less with less sunlight will experience what? Will experience winter. That is the that's the syntax, or that's the understanding that you should hear, have here, guys. It causes one side of the planet to face towards the sun, while the other side is away from the sun. The side that faces the sun receives more light and it experiences what? It experiences summer, while the other side with less sunlight will experience winter. That is how this question is answered 2.4.2. That's how the question is answered here, to say that sunlight is causes summertime where there is more sunlight. Where there is less sunlight, we will therefore experience what? It therefore experience winter. That's what you should understand. Question 2.4.3. Changes in the length of the day can affect seasonal temperatures. That is correct. What do we call the number of hours of light a plant or an animal receives every day? The number of hours of light a plant or animal receives every day. What do we call that? It is, I mean, we call that what? The photo period. The number of, I mean, the number of hours of light a plant or animal receives every day is called photo. It is actually called photo period. It is called photo means light, then time of light. Photo means light, therefore photo period means the period of light which the plant or animal receives light is called what? Photo period. And then what is migration? Actually, migration, this 2.4 B, it is seasonal movement of animals from one place to another in response to what? To climatic conditions. Migration, we can call it seasonal. It can be defined as seasonal movement of animals from one place to another, from one place to another, from one place to another in response to climatic conditions. In one place to another in response in response to climatic, the plants, I mean the animals are moving as a result of climatic conditions. In response to climatic conditions, it is the movement of animals from one place to another, the movement of animals from one place to another, the movement of animals from one place to another in response to climatic conditions. We call that migration. Even also people, we can talk about the movement of people from one place to another, from one place to another in search of what? Greener pastures or favorable living conditions. That is whatever the way we can give. So basically, as long as there is movement of animals and people from one place to another in response to climatic conditions or in search of favorable living conditions, give one reason why animals migrate. Give one reason why animals migrate. Animals, they migrate one. Number 2 point. I mean number C. They can migrate to find more. Migration can be caused because of one, to find favorable habitat. The animals can move to find favorable habitat, which is conducive for them to survive. They can also move as a reason of what? They can also move uh, in search of food. Animals can migrate in search of mating partners. Animals can move in order for them to find their court in term. This can be defined as courtship. We can also talk about also uh, they can also be moved because of population pressure, human population pressure, human population pressure will cause animals to migrate, whereby to see that animals can find themselves not able to live in places which are heavily manifested or heavily occupied by people. So they would migrate in order for them to find places where there is no what, there are not too many people, where they can just live in their good freedom. Also, that can be reasons why the animals can migrate. So you can see that animals migrate for various reasons. We can still have quite a lot of them. It can also because of climatic conditions, like we said there. It is cold in this region, it's winter here, and some areas are summer. So they can migrate to go and find those summer climatic regions or favorable areas that they can stay in there. So those are some of the reasons that the animals can migrate for. And then there's a question here, 2.5, question 2.5, which is 2.5. It is the table which shows how living organisms are classified according to their five kingdom classification system: kingdom, body structure, and then nutrition. We have got the Monera, we have got unicellular, we have got the parabiotic, and then autotrophic and heterotrophic in terms of the nutrition. So the question is saying, fill in the missing pieces of information from the table labeled A to D. Fill in the missing places which are on the table labeled A to D. A, we are saying unicellular, and then it is a eukaryotic, and then it's autotrophic and heterotrophic. What is that? This can be what? We can say it can be prostate. Protestic, you see? And then that is A, it is protista, and then it is a unicellular, and then it can be autotrophic, and then also can be heterotrophic. The fungi is a multicellular. It has got also cell wall containing dash. What is B? B, we can also be containing what? Chitin. B can be saying containing, B can be saying containing chitin. That is B. It is also heterotrophic. And then the plantae, the multicellular, also is containing dash C. C, they contain what? C, they contain cellulose. They contain what? Cellulose. They contain cellulose. I'm sure that that is correct. They contain cellulose. And then D, what is the nutrition? What is D? D, these are autotrophic. Autotrophic, that is, we are saying the plantae, they are multicellular, and also they contain cellulose, and then nutrition, they are autotrophic, and then that is correct, A to D, A, B, C, D. And then what does What does eukaryotic means? It means what? It has got what? It means it has got a true nucleus. Yes, a true. It has a true nucleus. That's what it means. It has a true nucleus. Yes, a true nucleus. And then read the extract below and answer the questions that follow. Uh, Carolus established a hierarchical classification system of grouping similar organisms together. He grouped it from broad groups called the kingdom down to the smallest called the species. Using this system, a lion is fully classified as follows. It is an it is an animalia, it is a chordata, it's a mammalia, it is a carnivore, it's a felidia, it is a paleontologio, and then according to this system, which class does the lion belong to? Which system does the lion belong to? The lion belong to what? 2.61. It belongs to number 2.61. It is what? It is a mammalia. It is a mammalia. That is very correct. And then the lion's scientific binomial name, the Plantaria leo, has been written incorrectly. Rewrite it correctly. Rewrite it correctly. It must be. We are saying the Plantera leo. It has been written incorrectly. Rewrite it correctly. It must be. It must be written. Actually, this name it just needs to be underlined. That's what it needs to be. It must be Plantera leo, and then we just underline. That's what you should write there. That's what you should do. It just need to be underlined. That's how to write it correctly. Number 6. Why is it necessary for organisms to have scientific names? Why should organisms have scientific names? Why should organisms have scientific names? Actually, we are saying actually to avoid what confusion. We have to have scientific names just to say why should things or why should organisms have names. Actually, the names help to avoid confusion. To avoid confusion, that is very correct. We should have names. Organisms should have names to avoid confusion. To avoid confusion, that is very correct. And then we can as well say that they should have names so that so therefore people can be just accurate. That is what we can say. Accurate as common names vary from place to place or region to region to be accurate as these names as common names common names they vary from region to region or place to place. They vary from place to place. That's what we need to say. To be accurate, as common names, they vary from place to place. So therefore, we would need to have to avoid what? To avoid confusion. That is very correct. Next question. Question 3. Nathan and Kwaba had the that the specs bomb plant is very good at storing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps prevent the extreme increase in the Earth's temperature called global warming. We talked about that. This carbon dioxide is used by plant for photosynthesis. That is very correct. The carbon dioxide is used by plants for photosynthesis. And then they decide to investigate how quickly different plants absorb carbon dioxide. Uh, they got three different types of plants from their local nursery. A specs bomb, we talk about that. It's an aloe and then a prickly pear. They make sure they make sure that the plants are the same height. They plant them in equal-sized pots with the same type and amount of soil. That is very correct. All the three plants are placed at the same location and equal amount of water. They get equal amount of water. That is correct. And then they take the weight and mass of their plants in the pots at the start of the investigation. They then leave the plant to grow for 1 month and measure the weight and mass again. That's okay. And the results are shown in the table below. These are the results. And then we are saying the results are shown in the table below there. The plants are, these are the three plants. Plant one, we have got two, and then we have got three. These are the three plants. Start the 0800 at the end. We have got at the end we have got 32, 832, 843, and 871. The increases are shown there. And then the question is saying identify the independent variable in this. Identify the independent variable in this investigation. So if you can check here, we are saying the independent variable here is that uh, they decide to investigate how quickly carbon dioxide, how quickly different plants absorb carbon dioxide. So we are saying our dependent and independent variable are found on the statement of the investigation. So what we are saying is that what is the saying what the question wants the independent variable. The independent variable, it is what? It is the type of plants. The different types of plants, they are the independent variable, the type of plants. The types of plants are the independent variable. And then the next question is saying, plot a bar graph of weight, mass weight or mass increase of the three plants. So I can just quickly draw this one. I can quickly draw a weight, a graph of that is question 3.1, question 3.1.2, 3.1.2. So just remember that we should have always a title. So our title of the graph must be saying what? It must say weight increase of three plant species after 1 month. Weight increase of three plant species after 1 month. After 1 month, that is a weight increase of three plant species after 1 month. That is the title. Don't forget that you should always have a title. So we are saying the increase is we are having our weight increase is 32, 43, 32, 43, and 71. Those are the weight increases. So we need to draw a what? A bar graph. Draw a bar graph of this. So what I'm saying is you need to understand that when you're drawing a bar graph, you always have to have a scale and you should know what should be on the vertical and horizontal scale. So on our vertical scale, we should have weight increase in what? In grams. We say weight increase in what? In grams. Weight increase in grams. So we can have our vertical our vertical line there. Just know that when you draw with a ruler and it must be very straight. And then we are saying we need to choose a proper scale. So we are saying there, we are saying weight increase in grams. Therefore, on this side, we should have what? We should have the type of plants. We should have type of plants should be on the horizontal axis there. So we are having our different plants. We have got, I'm saying, so it's, which scale can we use there? I can use a scale of 20. I think I can use a scale of 20, 20, 40, 60, 80. So I can say 20, 40, 60, 80. That's my scale there. And then the first plant is the aloe. The aloe is the first plant which must be aloe is supposed to be I'm sure that it is what it's the first plant is 32 obviously. The aloe is 32 grams. I'm saying the first is the aloe which is 32 which is 32 grams. So 32 grams here is 30. So 32 must be just above Bikinyana there. So I can say that I draw my graph like that. This is aloe. So I can make this to say that this is aloe. So I can say that this is 32. Don't forget that you should put the figures on top of the bars, please. The figures on top of the bars are quite important because they help you to make sure that you get all your marks, because your examiner or your marker can see that you are saying this is correct. This is aloe. Aloe is what is 32. And then the next plant is what? The prickly pear. The next plant is the prickly pear, which is 43. So I can have my next plant. Don't forget that this is a bar graph. So it can be 43, just above 40 Bikinyana there. So I can say this is 43. Don't forget that this is 43 there. This is 32. And then this is what it is there. So it is what? It is the what? The prickly pear. And then I have the last one, which is the what? The spring boom, which is 71. So 70 is somewhere there. So it must be just a little bit above 70 there. So, and then I say 71 there again. And then I can show you that this is my what? This is my bar graph. And then it is what? 43. And then this is the peak. It is the peak boom. So as you can see, I tried to draw my graph here. As you can see, I have tried to draw the graph like that. So what I'm saying is that this is your graph that you are supposed to draw. So I'm saying it is quite clear. You can see that the title is there. I have the title here. It is the weight increase of 3 plant species after 1 month. That is my title. And then this is my weight increase in grams which is on the horizontal scale is labeled, is correct, and then the type of plants on the horizontal axis is there, and then I'm saying each bar is given, its measurement is what is 32 grams, then it is correct, it is 43, it is correct, is 71, it is correct, which is shown there. So as you draw your graph, this is how you should draw. There must be always be a scale. I have got a nice scale here. I have put my scale, which is of what? A vertical interval of 2020. You don't randomly put the numbers. The numbers must be what? Must be well arranged with a proper interval that shows which scale are you using. I'm saying this is how you can draw your diagram. It must be your graph. It mustn't be too small. It mustn't be too big, but it must be standard enough. So therefore, the examiner can see what you are doing. So that's the graph, and it is exactly what you should do. Don't forget to put the readings on top of the bars like I did there. So as you do that, you are going to get all your marks, and I promise you that we will celebrate. This is excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. The next question is saying, what was the purpose of measuring the weight? What was the purpose? What was the purpose uh, of measuring the starting weight of the plants? Why do we measure the starting weight of the plants? This we measure the starting weight. What was the purpose? This is because we need to what? To we are saying why was it that so that they can know the what the increase of weight is what at the end, in order to know the increase of the weight, to know the increase of the weight at the end of the investigation. Obviously, we need to know the changes. So, in order for that to be understood, we need to know the initial first. What was the weight first, and then we can be able to see the increase. You see, these increases were known as a result of knowing that the first weight was how much. So, to know the increase or the gain of weight, to know the increase of the weight at the end of the investigation, how much the weight has increased. Number four is saying identify ways that ensure the validity of the investigation. Validity of an investigation class, it's one common question which you need always to know that when we do an investigation, the validity of the investigation must always be kept. They choose the same species, they choose plants of the same height. They chose plants of the same height. That is correct. We do check the plants of the same height in order to make sure that the validity of the investigation is not compromised. They put the plants in equal sized pots. Plants were put, plants were put, plants were put in equal sized pots. Plants were put in equal sized. The plants were put in equal sized pots, as you can see from the investigation settings there. The plants were put in the same in equal sized pots, and also all the plants had the same type of soil. Number three, they used same type of soil, same type of soil in all the plants. They used the same type of soil in all the plants, and also All the plants were in the same location. That's number 4. Plants were in same location. Plants were in the same location. Plants were in same location. That is also very correct. That the plants were put in same location. That is very correct and very important in regard to that. The plants were put in same location. And then we can as well say that there is also the issue of saying the all plants receive the same amount of water. All plants received the same amount of water. Same amount of water, which is also very correct. All plants receive the same amount of water. That is very correct again. All plants receive the same amount of water. And eventually, we can also say that from the investigation there, all plants were in the same, all plants had the same soil type. All plants had same soil type. All plants had same soil type. That is also very correct. All plants had the same soil type. That is very correct again. Number 3.15. 3.15. Uh, how could they improve the reliability of the investigation? How could they improve the reliability of the investigation? Reliability can also be improved by this number 3.15. Repeating the investigation, repeating the investigation, or having a large sample size. They can also uh, increasing their sample size. Instead of 3 plants, they can have many. These are measures that are done. Repeating the investigation can be done to improve the reliability of the investigation, or increasing their sample size was also going to be correct. 3.16, calculate the percentage increase in the mass from the start to the end of the investigation of the spectrum plant, spec boom. Calculate the percentage increase. Percentage increase, we are saying from start to the end, the spec boom, we are saying percentage increase, we are saying it to increase. The spec boom is this one. The spec boom class is this. This is the spec boom. This is the spec boom. The increase is 71 grams. So what should be done here is that we must understand that this must be percentage increase is how much increased over the initial. So it is 71. This one, it should be 71 grams over 800 multiplied by what? By 100 over 1. Therefore, we can get what? 8.8%. This is close to 8.8%. 8.88%. That is the percentage increase. So we are saying our increase was 71 grams over the initial, which was what? From the start, which was 800. 71 over 800 multiplied by 100, we get that. So we are saying when you calculate this, we get what? We get 8.8%. That is our answer in that respect. Last question, next question is saying, explain how using the weight gain of the plant will give Nathan and Kwaba an idea of how much carbon dioxide the plants are absorbing. Uh, this When plants absorb carbon dioxide, out of the atmosphere, they use it to create organic compounds. That is one thing that we must understand. When plants absorb carbon dioxide, when they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, from the atmosphere, they use it to create they use it to create organic compounds. They use it to create organic compounds, which we can say, we can talk about, e.g., we can talk about carbohydrates. We can talk about carbohydrates, for example, which they can use to grow. Which they can use to grow. When plants are taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, they use it to create what? To create to create carbohydrates, which they can use to grow. And then the more they grow, the more they gain weight. Hence, the more they grow, the more they gain weight. I'm sure this is making sense. I'm sure that we understand and we can refer to our experimental question, that is carbon dioxide necessary for photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis is therefore necessary that it makes carbohydrates, which we are talking about in this regard. So if they can use that to do that, uh, which they can use to, uh, we are saying, in this case, I wanted to just correct this word, which they can use to grow. So hence the more they grow, the more they gain weight, which is according to the question, how the weight gain of the plant will give an idea of how much carbon dioxide the plants are absorbing. As the plants are growing, they can show that they are growing because they are using the carbon dioxide, which is being converted, or which is being absorbed from the atmosphere in this respect. So that's what this question wants us to see. Next question. The images below, the images below are two different fossils. There are two different fossils, which is A, B, there are two different fossils that are given in this one. Identify fossil A. Fossil A, we can see that this one, fossil A, we can give it as to say, this is the what? It is a trilobite. And then B, obviously B is an ammonite. It's an ammonite here. B is an ammonite. We can agree, and we can actually quickly move on this. And then describing, the next question is saying, describe how these fossils may have formed in sedimentary rocks. Let me quickly try to, the organisms die we are saying organisms die and covered rapidly by what? By sediments. In this case, we are saying organisms die and are quickly they are quickly covered by sediments. organisms, they die and they are quickly covered by sediments. And then as 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 time passes, as time passes, as time passes, layers of sediments build up. As time passes, layers of sediments, layers of sediments, they do build up over the body. They build up over the body. That is very correct. Is they build up over the body. The layers compress by immense pressure building up. The layers, they compress, they compress by pressure building up. By immense pressure building up. By immense pressure building up. And then minerals begin to replace animals. Minerals begin to replace animal tissues and the body petrifies. Minerals begin to replace minerals begin to replace animal tissues. Replace animal tissues. They begin to replace animal tissues and the body petrifies. And the body petrifies. That is how this process takes place. That is how it takes place. So what you need to understand is that we are saying organisms, they die and are quickly covered by sediments. As time passes, layers of the sediments build up over the body, and then the layers compress. The layers compress as a result of by immense pressure building up. They compress because of immense pressure building up, and then minerals begin to replace animal tissues, and the body petrifies. The body petrifies, therefore, we can have these fossils forming sedimentary rocks, as the way the question is asking. Next question, next question is saying 3.24, 3.2.3. Name two other ways that fossils are formed other than sedimentary rocks. We can have they can be frozen in ice. We can have them frozen in ice. We can have them frozen in ice. Two, we can also have them trapped in the tar. They can be trapped in tar. That can also be correct. And three, what else we can say? We are saying they can be frozen in ice, they can be trapped in the tar, and then they can also be trapped in the amber. So we are saying besides other ways that fossils are formed other than sedimentary rocks is what through freezing, they can be trapped in the tar, they can be trapped in the amber. As three of these different answers, they are all correct. They can also be ways through which fossils can be formed. Scientists use radioactive isotopes such as the carbon-14 or potassium-40 to date fossils. What is this method dating called? What is this method called? We say that this is called radiometric dating. Radiometric dating. We once answered this question above there. It's called radiometric dating. We are saying radiometric dating. I'm sure that if you can refer to the previous question, you can see that this can also be quite clear and straightforward. And then question 3.3, the diagram shows a picture of a coelacanth. And then why are these coelacanth thought to be living fossils? Why are they thought to be living fossils? Question 3.3.1. Why are they thought to be living fossils? Uh, the reason is because they were thought to be extinct, yet have existed unchanged for millions of years. Uh, they they were thought they were thought to be extinct. They were thought to be extinct, yet have existed unchanged, yet have existed unchanged. They have existed unchanged for millions of years. I mean, they were thought to be extinct, yet have existed unchanged for millions of years. That is why they are thought to be what? They are thought to be living fossils. You can see when something is thought to be saying that is no more there, but then it is found still existing. Uh, they are still existing unchanged for millions of years. Yes, that is the reason why they are thought to be what? To be living fossils. That's why they are changed, thought to be like that. And then the next question is saying, where was the first live coelacanth was caught? This one, if you can check in our record, it was caught off the coast of East London. Off the coast of East London. Off the coast of East London. That way it was caught off the coast of East London. It was caught off the coast of East London. And then coelacanth are thought to be the missing link between fish and amphibians. We are talking about evolution in this respect. And then what do we call the fossils that have common features of two different groups and show the change from one group to the other? These are called transitional fossils. I'm sure we can, I mean, you can understand that it's a transitional fossil, it's a transitional organism, which we are saying it has got the characteristics of the prior and the post classes. So this is called a transition fossil. It's called a transition. It's called a transition fossil. Give one example of any other missing link that you have studied other than the coelacanth. We have got what we can say we have got what we have got the this example that I've seen here. It was one. We can have the one. Is it called? It's called the arc. It's called the archaeopteryx. Is another example of a missing. Another example that we can give. It is one example that we can give, or also they call it also a listosaurus. Two, we can have the it's called listor. So these are two examples that I found myself when I was researching on this one. Is we have got the Listeriosaurus and then the Archaeopteryx. Those are the two that I have. Read the following extract and answer the questions that follow there. DNA sequencing analysis reveals that the coelacanth weren't the missing link between the sea and the land, published by the Smithsonian Magazine. Genetic analysis suggests that the coelacanth does not appear to be the most recent shade does not appear to be the most recent shared ancestor between sea and land animals, so its lobed fins didn't make that first fateful step onto the land after all, but that it was most likely a group of fish known as the lungfish. The coelacanth has existed unchanged all the time. It is actually still evolving just very, very slowly, supporting the recent argument that it's the time to stop calling the fish and other seemingly prehistoric creatures living fossils. That's the theory there. So not organisms with similar DNA are more closely related than organisms whose DNA differ a lot. We talk about the DNA reference as a source of evidence of evolution. So the question is saying, does the article agree with classifying the crocat as a living fossil? Do you think that science should consider how they should use these other fossils as a missing link between different animals groups? Justify your answer. We can say, does this agree? Obviously, this, as you can see, the passage, it does not, it does not, we are saying no in this case, it's a no on this question. It's a no on this question. It's really a no. The essay or the comprehension does not actually agree with classifying this one. It does not agree. It really nullifies that there is such a thing. And then let's say 4.4.2. 4.4.2, do you think scientists should reconsider how they have used other fossils as missing links between different animal groups? Justify your answer. I can give different answers in this regard. The first one, I can say yes. I can say yes. And then the justification is that one, genetic evidence shows that one, genetic genetic evidence genetic evidence, it shows that shows that missing shows that missing links it shows that missing links may not be missing links at all. Missing links may not be missing links at all. Missing links may not be missing links at all. That is one thing there. These organisms are continually evolving. They are, let me just quickly, these organisms are continually evolving. These organisms are continually they are continually evolving. They are continually evolving, which suggests that they are part of their own group. Which suggests that they are part of their own group. part of their own group. So we can say that scientists should, we are saying yes, they must reconsider the way they view fossils as missing links because genetic evidence shows that missing links may not be missing links at all. They might not be missing links at all because the organisms are continually evolving, which suggests that they are which suggests that they are part of what? Which suggests that they are which suggests that they are part of a group. They are part of their own group. I can as well say that no, we can as well say that, we can also say no here. We can say no. The reason why I can say no here is that the reason why I can say no in this case is because the features of these organisms because here because the features of these organisms the features of these organisms still suggest links of these organisms still suggest uh, links between still suggest links between different groups of organisms, links between different groups of organisms, different groups of organisms. They still suggest links between different groups of organisms. And then just because the correlate is not a missing link, just because the correlate is not a missing link, is not a missing, is not a missing link, does not mean also that others aren't too. Is not a missing link, does not mean, does not mean others are not too. So we are saying there are different options that we can give there to say that we can say no to this. We can say no because we are saying the features of these organisms still suggest links between different groups of organisms. Just because the coordinate uh, is not a missing link does not mean others are not too. Others can be also missing links. So with this reference, we can give different options of these scenarios, which is also based from the above again, which we said yes, because genetic evidence shows that missing links may not be missing links at all, but the organisms are what are continually evolving, which suggests that they are part of their own group. That is what is this answer need to say, because it wants you to say, do you think scientists should reconsider how they used other fossils as missing links between different oak groups? Justify your answers in that respect. That's how I am justifying my answer on this question. Just check it properly and then you make sure that you get the understanding of where I'm reasoning from. Uh, question 3.5. Question 3.5. Question 3.5 is saying the graph below shows the diversity of organisms over a period of Earth's history. That is it, the million of years ago, and then diversity of organisms that is shown there. First question is saying what do we call the events on the graph marked 1 to 5? What do we call events on the map? Events on the graph marked 1 to 5. Events that are marked 1 to 5, we can see we are saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we call those events? What are those events called? We call these different mass extinctions. These are events which are showing, we are saying they are called mass extinctions. These are called mass extinctions. These are called mass extinctions. These are called mass extinctions. According to the graph, which event caused the greatest decrease in the diversity of organisms? Which showed the greatest, which event, according which event caused the greatest decrease in the what? In the diversity of organisms? We can see others were decreasing and what, but if you can see the event 3, we are saying it was from here, which was something like 400, and then it went as far as out of up to 180. We can say from 400 it to up to something like 180. So you can see that it's event what? It's event 3, which can see there. We can see event 3, it actually caused the greatest decrease in the diversity of organisms. Event 3, that is very correct. We can see there that event 3 caused the greatest decrease. And then next question is saying, scientists think that a volcano may have caused a decrease in the diversity of organisms during the event 5 marked. Event marked 5. Explain how volcano could cause so many species to die. Question 3.3.5. Explain how this can cause many species to die. Question 3.3.5. I mean 3.3.4. Why 3.3.5.3. One, we are saying volcanic eruptions released particles into the air which blocked the sun. We are saying volcanic eruption released particles it released particles into the air it released particles into the air which blocked out the sun, which blocked out the sun for long periods of time. For long periods of time, lowering temperatures of the earth, causing many organisms to extinct as they could not adapt. Long periods of time, lowering temperatures of the earth, when the temperatures of the earth are this, causing causing many organisms to die, causing many organisms to causing many organisms to go extinct as they could not adapt. As they could not, as they could not adapt, they could go extinct. So that is what we are saying in this regard. As they could not adapt. So volcanic eruptions released particles into the air, which blocked out the sun for long periods of time, lowering temperatures of the earth, causing many organisms to go extinct as they could not adapt to the environmental conditions that are too cold conditions, which where the sun is not there. That is what is happening with regard to that question. And then question 3.5.4. Question 3.5.4 is saying scientists have other theories about what may have caused the about what might have caused the decrease in diversity of organisms at event marked 5. Name other theories. Number 3.5.4, other theories. 3.5.4 saying other theories that might have, we are saying other theories that might have, other theories which may have caused decrease in diversity. We can talk about one, continental drift, continental drift, continental drift theory. It might have caused organisms we can talk about that contributing towards what the decrease in diversity, and also two, we can also talk about the asteroid impact also might have an impact on what, on the decrease in diversity of organisms, continental drift, and also the asteroid impact. We can also give that as what, as other points that might have caused this. And then maybe next, last but not least question, the picture below shows, it shows a fossilized cow. It belonged to a female. It belonged to a female of one of human ancestors, was found in the crater of many kinds. That is the thing. And then that is the skull. Name the skull. Name the skull in the image above. This can be who? We can say in the crater of many kinds, the female, it can be misplaced. We can say the skull, it belongs to misplaced. Misplaced. I'm sure that we can agree together there. 3.6, 3.62. What we call tourism to places like the crater of many kinds, where people go specifically to see things like the skull in the images above. We call them what? Fossil tourism. Fossil tourism. And then the next question, name two places other than the crater of many kinds where people can go see things such as the skulls in the image above. We can talk about question 6.3.5, other places. We can talk about one, other place that people can go. We can talk about one, museums. People can go to the museums. Two, we can talk about also the West Coast Fossil Park. West Coast West Coast Fossil Park, West Coast Fossil Park. We can also have number 3, which can also be the Kitchen Fossil Exploration Center. Those are examples of places that people, other than the cradle of humankind, where people can go see things such as the skull of the image. And then lastly, explain how the local community around the cradle of humankind can benefit from tourists who visit the area. There are quite a lot of answers that we can give here. One, tourists visiting the area, we are saying create a need for jobs. So we are saying creation of employment, creation of employment, e.g., employment that we are talking about, e.g., we can talk about tour operators, e.g., tour operators. We can have tour operators. We can also talk about even also ticket sales or restaurants, tour operators or restaurants or restaurants, restaurants. We can also talk about we can talk about B&Bs, B&B businesses that are there, or we can talk about hotels as forms of employment that is there. We can also talk about things such as government may also upgrade facilities, improve in infrastructure, improve in local infrastructure, local infrastructure. We can talk about also uh, we can talk about many other things such as also development of any other parasitic industries that can also benefit the community there. So we are saying these are examples of services that are there, which we can say creation of employment, improvement of local infrastructure, and then improve in standards of living of the people, improve in standards of living of local communities. These are quite correct answers that we can give. You can add as many other points that you can add. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure that you can be able to relate and get your national end of year examinations passed very well. Don't forget to share and also uh, bring others to connect to the channel so that all we can do good. All the best. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe like we always say. Thank you.